Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're Dan and Stephen, a married couple who decided to grab life by the horns and give it a good shake-up. That led us to Daisy the Campervan, our travelling home that's taken us all over the UK and hopefully beyond very soon. In this video we continue to explore more of East Anglia before heading south to figure out where our path takes us next and how on earth we're going to sustain it. So sit back, relax and come along dear. We have arrived we've had a day of work. Yesterday we did some work on the laptop. We went to the library like proper little students. It was very strange and we worked there all afternoon, and today we have decided to treat ourselves. This is only the second time in a month where we've treated ourselves to a campsite. So we've just arrived at this lovely place near Peterborough in Cambridgeshire, and it's really nice. It's really big. I'm surprised at how busy it is actually. There's so many people about and there's so many vans here. So I've arrived at this site and yeah, we're going to just treat ourselves a little bit. It is a really nice day. The sun's going down. We've just had some lunch, but the sun's still up. There's probably a couple of hours left, so I'm going to take a walk. It looks like some little wildlife walks around here, so I'd like to do that, get some nice pictures maybe. But we're here because also we can shower. We can have a shower. We need a wash basically. So we're here to do that, but just to charge up the van, we can plug everything in. As I say, we're still working off the basics at the moment, so we are, you know, we need to get a jackery. Is something that's next on our list. We've managed really well though. I think we've worked out a system, and we don't feel like we've not struggled at all. But a jackery would just help us. However, being on the site, back to the point of being on the site, obviously it's the fact that we can charge the van up. Everything, the leisure battery gets a boost. All of our appliances get a boost. We can have a wash, and obviously we can get rid of some waste as well. So it's just nice handing that toilets, having toilets here. So it's just a little bit of a treat for one night. 20 quid. You know, these things aren't that cheap these days, but actually for the quality of the site, I actually don't think it's that bad. We've certainly paid for more expensive, haven't we, Stephen? So, you know, I don't know how it normally is. This is our first go round doing all this kind of thing. 20 quid in January, is that expensive? Yeah, I think if you were to do this all the time, it would be. Yeah, we've got some stuff to do. We can chill out a bit, watch some films. It's just nice because we have done a lot of, it's really nice. It's a lot of fun going to places and walking around. Of course it is exploring, but I think you need breaks in it. You need to break it up. It's not something you can just do all the time. I say this saying I'm about to go for a walk, but my point is our days have been quite hectic and we love it, and that's why we're doing it. Broken up by the work days. But it's sometimes just nice, as we would have done in a house, just to sit down and say, actually, you know what, we're going to watch some films, or we're going to do this and just chill out a bit. So yeah, a bit of everything. I think my tongue's yellow because we've eaten a curry. Doesn't look yellow. The site we stayed on was the Ferry Meadows campsite, in a fantastic location right next to Overton Lake and the River Nene, which is where I headed that sunny late afternoon. Where we're staying, so as I said, we've treated ourselves to a campsite tonight, which is only the second time in a month, and literally right next door is this amazing park. It's got this big lake in it, it's got this river, the River Nene, I think it is, Nene, I'm not sure how you say it, but it's near Peterborough. Quite a well-known river, I think, and it's absolutely lovely. The sun's out. I'm just walking through this wood, and they've got this boardwalk, so it's not quite wild or anything, but they've got this boardwalk all around, so it's really nice to walk around, really practical. And made it accessible for everybody basically. Feel like I could literally do this forever, just not stop, just stop until my legs, just don't stop until my legs fall off. Bit weird for that Stephen, I've got to say. Sort of been attached at the hip for the last 2 months, but it's nice to do things separately, and even in a van I think it's kind of healthy to do that. I think it's important. and we haven't had much opportunity. It's just sort of arisen today. Luckily, we've both wanted to do the same things, which has been good. Just kind of very aware now. Still a lot of sunlight, but I don't really know where I am. As I say, it's quite well laid out trail-wise, so I can't imagine I'm going to get lost, but I don't want to be here when it's dark, obviously. Ooh, little magpie. So yeah, hoping I can sort of loop around the lake and make my way back at some point. Okay, so this is a bit odd, a bit interesting. This little mark in here, so it's sculpture. So it's sort of like a wooden sculpture, that you can see. But it looks like, I'm guessing he's meant to be a shepherd, because it seems to be these sheep, the ones with the big horns, rams, I don't know. They look like, I thought they were foxes, but I'm assuming they're meant to be sheepdogs? I don't know. A bit unusual, really intricate though. Oh, it's been carved. There's normally in these things it says something what it's about, but not on this one unfortunately. But really impressive. Little bit of art on the way around the woods.
Having made it back before dark, just about, we enjoyed our night of relative luxury on the campsite before heading out exploring again. This started with a whistle-stop tour of the city of Ely and its impressive cathedral. Before settling down somewhere near Thetford Forest. I think we were back in Norfolk for the third or fourth time here, but I can't be completely sure. It was here we found an English heritage site, Thetford Warren Lodge. It was used as a base to hunt rabbits in the surrounding area, but also so the gamekeepers could protect it from illegal poaching. Given its relatively humble use, the building is sturdy and impressive, showcasing the wealth and social standing of the owner and dating back over 600 years.
Good morning everyone. So we are in Thetford Forest. We're in Thetford Forest and we've been here for a couple of days now parking. We've done some work, so there's not much filming going on that part. But this is one of those times where we've just parked up. We parked up at night. We didn't know what it looked like. We just knew there were trees. And this morning I woke up, I went for a run. The sun was shining, there was frost on the ground. It was so nice. It was absolutely beautiful, and just one of those mornings where you wake up and think, oh God, this is such a lovely park up. Had some noise last night, but nothing too bad. But anyway, we walked literally just round the corner from where we parked, just as you're going into the forest. There is this old building, and I went to have a look. There used to be a man that lived in it. He was the rabbit warden, I think. I forget the exact term, but for hundreds of years it was a thing that the rabbits were effectively, not farmed, but kind of, well, I guess farmed is the word. When they were killed for their meat, sold around the country, sold used for this estate, and then the fur was made into robes, jackets, that kind of thing. So the rabbit warden had his own lodge, and that was the building, and apparently a lot of the brickwork is still the original surviving building from about the 1300s. So yeah, that was quite a find this morning, I thought.
So this is an English heritage site, and what they used to do, they would use the fur to make hats, and they'd send them all around the world, like around South Africa for example. But because of the chemical they used in cleaning the fur and making the hats, it made the workers display signs of madness, so the sign says.
And that's where the term mad as a hatter comes from. Fun little fact there. We then visited one of the prettiest villages in the area, Lavenham in Suffolk. It was a grey day and we didn't get much footage due to low battery power, but this place was a real visual treat. Full of old timber medieval buildings, the village is packed with history and has been a popular filming location. A John Lennon film and Harry Potter were recorded here, among many others, like the TV show Lovejoy. Remember that? It was also home to the poet Jane Taylor, who is believed to have written the poem The Star here, where the lyrics to the nursery rhyme Twinkle Twinkle Little Star originated. If you're in the area, we'd 100% recommend visiting Lavenham and taking the time to explore. There are some great walks around the village too. It was then time for a spot of tea, cue badly filmed tea making skills. Before we then jump ahead in time, because apparently we just like to be confusing, and well, it's kind of what we had to work with. So we went back down south, concluding our tour of East Anglia, and landed on the edge of the South Downs National Park.
We're on a bit of a, just to give you a bit of an update, we're on our, we've done our tour of East Anglia, and we kind of had a bit of a diversion where we kind of went off track, and we've gone here, there and everywhere, done a bit of work, so it's not really been particularly coherent, much like most of our videos, but we're now heading back because we've got to get some stuff done, like I said before, an MOT on the van. It's my mum's birthday, she's 70, so we thought we'd go back and celebrate that, and just a bit of time to take stock and kind of think, right, what next, what do we do now, because there's lots of things up in the air about our future plans and how we're going to proceed, both in terms of travelling and in terms of work. So that's the next couple of weeks for us. But just so you know, we're here, this is our last stop, so we've stopped in Arundel, which is a really lovely little town, and the walks are amazing, so it's just on the tip of the South Downs. So I've decided, as it's a really lovely day, we did go out, we actually walked around the town and got some lunch, which was nice, had a roast dinner, which is the first time in a long time, which was so-so. We've been up here before, but I thought I'd take a slightly different route and just see where I can go, because it's late in the day, it's 3 o'clock, but end of January the sun stays out for longer now, so hopefully I'll get some nice walks in, and that'll be it really until we head back. And then we'll kind of, who knows what we're going to do, I don't know, but that's part of the fun, I think.
Are you sure, Dan? No, I definitely am, but as someone who struggles to adjust to major changes, taking the leap into this kind of nomadic life has been a huge step for me. Stephen, thankfully, is more keen on risks and switching up the status quo, and without him I don't think I could have done it. In many ways we are different, but sometimes those differences make us both think or do things outside of our box, which can only be a good thing. I mean, he's taught me that having a nap is okay for one thing. In all seriousness, it's natural to be anxious about everything we're doing. Even though so many others are doing the same, and having that potential support network is comforting, this lifestyle is definitely not for everyone, and the challenges and uncertainties it brings are constant. We don't know where it will take us, or even if we can sustain it, but one thing is sure, we don't regret a thing.
So nice they've left it. I mean, clearly at some point there would have been probably tons, hundreds of them I'm guessing, and it's just one of those ones that's just somehow managed to survive. They've left it alone, but it's so striking on its own, just surrounded by all this green countryside, the sun going down, the winter sun, forest trees in the background. It's just like a little piece of art in the countryside, you know. Well worth the trek. It's terrible. I need a new one. Sorry, this is really irritating me. I really need a new hat. This is something else.
Well, after a hike and some hat drama, we headed back to Kent to see family and prepare for our next trip, stopping on the tip of the North Downs to squeeze in one more walk. Oh, and this obstacle course, which we'll leave you to, enjoy? Join us next time as roof disaster strikes just as we face the prospect of a powerful winter storm in the van. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed, or endured, the content, and press the notification bell for regular updates. Thanks for watching and see you next time.